We are here today talking about the worldwide teach-in on climate and justice.
Right now, we're in the middle of the race to zero waste. Climate change makes me very anxious, and I find ways to get around that by working towards the solutions, and I'm lucky to be able to do that with my work and my volunteering.
Students working on the Bard farm are really working on the front lines of climate change. They're thinking about it and feeling climate change in a really different way because we're out in the elements. We're seeing how it impacts our plants. We're seeing how it impacts the environment every day. And I think it brings a deeper awareness to students that are working here around what is actually happening to our changing planet. And hopefully it's seeding a deeper sense of responsibility and meaning in how they engage in climate action.
Right now we have fennel planted, seeded, and we also have peas up here. BoardEats is a collaborative work with our dining hall system, with Bard students, staff members and faculty members who are interested in making our food system sustainable and equitable.
Environmental and Urban Studies is a program here at Bard that was started about, I'd say about 15, 20 years ago, maybe now. And it was started in response to the new understanding that the environment was an important aspect of academic inquiry. I joined the US program about 8 years ago as the environmental science faculty member to craft classes that were interdisciplinary and brought together the sciences to address environmental issues.
In my county, Clayton County, Georgia, I noticed a lack of environmental and sustainability teachings. And so that led me to want to start my own nonprofit, which I have now, called the Earth Tomorrow Foundation. And so we cater to K-12 students becoming more environmentally conscious through the use of hands-on sustainability research projects. I just found some of my first community partnerships for the program, one being the Center of Creative Education in Kingston, and then also with Stars Library in Rhinebeck. So I'll be doing free programming where students will be able to come and learn about composting, water insecurities, local water insecurities and water filtration, the greenhouse gases, greenhouse effects, and then also, of course, learning about climate change and essentially how they can be the change we need to make a healthier Earth.
Bard has a plan that really involves getting our buildings as energy efficient as we can, and that means retrofitting appliances, lighting, weatherizing. It also means replacing all of the heating systems that we have that burn fossil fuels with especially geothermal and solar electric. We've got a big solar field, we can expand that. We could probably generate 10% of the electricity we need with on-site solar, but we can also buy community solar, so we can buy solar power and build solar facilities throughout the Hudson Valley and have that power come to us. We've got exciting possibilities about generating some power from streams, from local microhydro. Basically electrifying everything, going geothermal, but getting off of fossil fuels. That's the heart of what we really have to do.
The Fisher Center for the Performing Arts is a geothermal building, 100%. It was constructed around 2003. So for such a large building of that in the United States, in this region, a progressive choice.
We are big proponents of local civic action and integrating student voices into government, starting with the first day they arrive on campus and voting. And that is, I think, the most critical place for students to really understand what it means to be actively engaged in climate, because all the things like waste management, recycling, water, infrastructure, even mental health, environmental justice, all of those kinds of services are handled on the state, the town, the village, the county and state level. So much of what happens on the macro is actually much more impacted on the micro.
For around 2 years, I was running our hub of the Sunrise Movement, which is the youth movement for Green New Deal. I got first involved when I just randomly, without knowing much about it, attended a sit-in at Nancy Pelosi's office with AOC on her first day of Congress. So that ended up becoming this big viral action. And then I came back to Bard, I was like, okay, this is like becoming a big deal. I need to start a chapter here. So I was, doing that work until the November 2020 election when Biden was elected.
This is a time where we get depressed, but it's no time for depression. It's time for hard work. And I just try and keep that in mind. We really have the possibility to solve the energy half of climate change by 2030. Right now, we could rewire the entire world with solar, wind, geothermal, battery storage. Those technologies are cheap and getting cheaper. It's not an economic problem, it's not a technology problem. It's really just a question of how hard we want to work. So we can stabilize the climate, and every degree matters, right? Every degree matters. Every half a degree matters. Every tenth of a degree matters. So it's never going to be too late. In your entire lives, it's never going to be too late to address this problem of climate change. But we have an amazing window in the next 10 years, and in many ways, there's never been a more exciting and decisive time to be alive on the planet, because how important the work we can do right now really is.